Tom worked late shifts in a quiet office building where most people never looked twice at the cleaning staff. He was a single dad who moved carefully through hallways with a mop and a small cart, doing his job with patience and pride. Every night he thought about his daughter Lily, because she was the reason he kept going even when his body felt tired. Lily was 6 years old and she loved simple things like warm milk, storybooks, and drawing little houses with bright windows. Tom did not have much money, but he tried to give her something even more important, which was safety and love. He lived in a small apartment where the heater worked only when it wanted to, and he learned how to make ordinary days feel calm for Lily. He cooked easy meals, checked her school bag, and told her that hard times do not last forever. Before leaving for work, Tom always followed the same routine because routines made life feel steady. He washed the dishes, folded Lily's uniform, and packed her lunch with whatever he had. He kissed her forehead and reminded her to listen to the neighbor who watched her at night. The neighbor was an older woman named Nina who lived across the hall and understood what it meant to struggle. Nina did not ask Tom for much, and she treated Lily like family. Tom thanked her every day because without her help he could not keep his job. He walked to work with his shoulders slightly hunched, not because he was weak, but because he carried worry like a heavy bag. He told himself that if he kept working, Lily would be fine. That evening the building felt unusually quiet and the rain outside made the windows look dark and blurry. Tom pushed his cart across the lobby floor and listened to the soft squeak of his shoes. He cleaned the glass doors, wiped the desk near the entrance, and then started mopping the marble floor slowly. The lobby lights were bright, but the air still felt cold, like the warmth had been turned down after the last employees left. Tom liked the calm because it gave his mind space to breathe. He thought about Lily's drawing from earlier that day, a picture of the two of them holding hands under a big sun. He smiled a little because Lily always drew the sun, even when the real sky was full of clouds. A sudden sound broke the quiet, and it came from the elevator area near the side hallway. It was not the normal elevator chime, and it did not sound like a door opening. It sounded like someone struggling to breathe, followed by a small cry that did not belong in an empty building. Tom stopped mopping and held his breath for a moment, trying to understand what he heard. The lobby was empty, but the sound was real, and it made his stomach tighten. He left the mop leaning against the wall and walked quickly toward the elevator doors. His heart beat faster with each step, and he told himself to stay calm because panic never helped anyone. The elevator doors opened and a woman stepped out, then her knees gave way like she could no longer hold herself up. Tom moved forward fast and caught her before she hit the floor. She was dressed in a neat coat, but her face was pale and her hands trembled as she clutched her stomach. Her eyes looked unfocused, like she was trying to stay awake through a wave of pain. Tom helped her down gently, placing her on the clean part of the lobby floor. He spoke softly, keeping his voice steady so she could feel safe. He asked her to breathe slowly and to look at him, because people often hold on better when they feel seen. The woman whispered that she was pregnant and that something felt wrong inside her body. Tom's mind raced, but his hands stayed careful. He knew he could not waste time, and he knew he could not leave her alone even for a moment. He reached for his phone and remembered it was in his locker near the staff room. He told her he would come back quickly, and he ran with controlled speed down the hallway. He grabbed his phone, returned in seconds, and called for emergency help. While he waited, he kept talking to her in a calm voice, explaining that help was on the way. He took off his jacket and placed it under her head, making the hard floor a little softer. The woman held Tom's hand with a grip that showed fear and trust at the same time. Her breathing was uneven, and she kept repeating the word baby as if saying it could protect the life inside her. Tom told her to focus on his voice and to take slow breaths in and out. He did not promise things he could not control, but he promised he would stay with her. In his mind, he pictured Lily and he understood why the woman looked so frightened. Parents carry a special kind of fear, because love makes every danger feel bigger. Tom kept his eyes on the elevator doors, waiting for the ambulance, and he listened closely for any changes in her breathing. When the ambulance arrived, the building suddenly filled with fast footsteps and urgent voices. The medical team moved quickly, checking the woman, asking questions, and placing her carefully on a stretcher. Tom explained what happened, using clear, simple words. One of the workers wrote down his name and thanked him for acting so fast. The woman looked at Tom as they rolled her away, and her eyes filled with tears that she tried to hide. She whispered a quiet thank you, and Tom nodded, hoping she would be okay. Then the elevator doors closed, and the lobby became quiet again, like nothing had happened. Tom stood there for a moment, staring at the place where she had been, feeling the strange emptiness that follows a crisis. The next morning Tom returned to work with his usual quiet discipline, thinking only about earning his pay and getting home to Lily. He expected the day to be normal, but he noticed that some people were looking at him differently. A supervisor walked past him without greeting, and a manager spoke to another manager in a low voice, both glancing toward Tom. He tried not to focus on it because he had learned that rumors grow in workplaces like weeds. Around noon he was called into the manager's office, and the manager's face looked stiff and impatient. The manager told Tom he was being fired for leaving his assigned area the previous night. Tom felt a cold shock spread through his chest, and for a moment he could not speak. He tried to explain that he left only because a pregnant woman collapsed and needed help. The manager replied that rules were rules and that the building had policies. Tom listened, stunned, because he knew he had done the right thing and yet he was being punished for it. He thought about Lily's school fees, the grocery bill, and the rent that was already late. He held his box of belongings like it weighed more than it should, because it carried the weight of fear inside it. He walked out of the office and into the lobby, feeling smaller than he did the night before. Tom sat outside on a bench, watching the rain begin again, and he tried to breathe through the panic building in his throat. He did not regret saving the woman, but he did not know how to explain this to Lily if he went home without money. He looked at his phone and thought about calling Nina, but his pride held him back for a moment. Then a black car pulled up near the curb, smooth and expensive, the kind Tom only saw in movies. A tall man stepped out wearing a neat suit and walked directly toward him. The man asked if he was Tom, and when Tom nodded, the man said the woman from last night wanted to see him. Tom stood slowly, confused and cautious, unaware that the woman he saved was Maya, the CEO of the entire company, and unaware that she carried a secret that would soon. Tom followed the tall man to the black car, while his heart beat with a mix of fear and curiosity because he had no idea why a powerful woman would want to see a simple worker like him. The car moved through the busy streets until it reached a large hospital with wide glass doors and quiet halls filled with soft light. The tall man led Tom inside and down a long hallway where the smell of clean air and medicine filled the space. Tom kept thinking about Lily and how she was waiting for him to come home with dinner and stories. He wondered if this visit would bring more trouble or something he could not yet understand. They stopped outside a private room, and the tall man gently knocked before opening the door. Inside lay the woman Tom had saved, sitting up in a hospital bed with pillows behind her back and a calm but tired look on her face. Her hair was neat and her hands rested over her stomach in a protective way. When she saw Tom, her eyes softened and a small smile appeared. She thanked the tall man and asked him to wait outside so she could speak alone. Tom stood awkwardly near the door until she asked him to come closer and sit. The woman told Tom her name was Maya and that she was the owner of the company where he worked. Tom was shocked because he had no idea the person he helped was someone so important. Maya explained that the doctors said her baby was safe because Tom acted quickly. She told him that without his help things could have ended very differently. Tom listened quietly and felt both relief and sadness because even though he saved her, he had lost his job. Maya noticed the worry on his face and asked what was wrong. Tom hesitated but then told her everything about being fired and how he needed the job to take care of his daughter. Maya looked surprised and then upset when she heard what happened. She said that no one should be punished for saving a life and that she would make sure the mistake was fixed. Tom did not know what to say because he had never been spoken to with such kindness by someone in power. Maya asked about his daughter and Tom told her about Lily and how she loved to draw and read. Maya listened with interest and said she admired how he put his child first. She said being a parent changes the way a person sees the world. Maya then shared something that surprised Tom even more. She told him that she was not just a business leader but also someone who had grown up without much love or family. She said her own parents had passed away when she was young, and she learned to rely only on herself. Because of that, she built walls around her heart and focused only on work. But becoming a mother was changing her in ways she did not expect. She said that when she felt the pain in the elevator, she was not thinking about her company or her money, she was thinking only about her child. Tom nodded because he understood that feeling well. Maya then said something that made Tom sit up straight. She told him that her baby would not grow up alone and that she wanted people around who knew the meaning of care and courage. She said Tom showed both when he saved her without hesitation. She said she needed someone she could trust to be close during this new chapter of her life. Tom did not fully understand what she meant, but he felt that her words carried weight. He listened closely as she continued to speak. Maya explained that the father of her child had left when he learned about the pregnancy. She said he cared more about his image than about being a parent. She told Tom that she did not want her child to grow up feeling unwanted. Tom felt a wave of sympathy because Lily had grown up without a mother, and he knew how questions could fill a child's heart. Maya said she wanted her child to grow up seeing kindness and honesty instead of cold ambition. She said that saving her life was not just an act of bravery, but also a sign of the kind of person she wanted near her child. Tom felt overwhelmed by everything he was hearing. He had walked into the hospital thinking he might get his job back, and now he was hearing words that felt much bigger. Maya said she would take care of his firing and that he would be welcomed back if he wished. She also said she wanted to help Lily and make sure she had opportunities Tom could not afford alone. Tom thanked her but also felt unsure because he was not used to such generosity. He did not want to feel like he owed anyone something that could not be repaid. Maya smiled gently and said she was not offering help out of pity but out of respect. She said Tom had already given her something priceless, which was the chance to watch her child grow. She said she did not want to waste that gift by turning away from people who deserved support. Tom felt his eyes grow warm, but he kept his voice steady. He told her that Lily was his whole world and that he only wanted what was best for her. Maya said that was exactly why she trusted him. As they talked more, Maya shared her plans for the future and how she wanted to create a better work culture in her company. She said she wanted to make sure that people who did good were treated with fairness. She asked Tom what he thought would make the workplace better. Tom said people should be seen as humans, not just workers. Maya nodded because she knew he was right. Before Tom left, Maya asked him to promise that he would keep being the kind of man who stepped forward when someone needed help. Tom said he would because that was how he wanted Lily to grow up. Maya then held his hand and said that from that moment on his life would not be the same. Tom walked out of the hospital with a strange feeling in his chest, a mix of hope and uncertainty. He did not yet know what Maya's secret truly meant, but he felt that something big was coming. Tom returned home to Lily that night and hugged her tighter than usual. He told her that something important had happened and that things might change for the better. Lily smiled and asked if he would be home more now. Tom said he hoped so. As Lily went to sleep, Tom sat beside her bed and thought about Maya and her baby. He realized that two lives had crossed in a way neither of them could have planned. He also realized that sometimes one brave moment can open doors to a future that feels impossible before it happens, turn his life upside down. Tom woke early the next morning with his mind full of thoughts about Maya and the baby and the promise of a future that felt both bright and uncertain. He made breakfast for Lily and tried to keep his voice calm while telling her that he would not be cleaning floors at the office for a while. Lily looked curious and asked if that meant he would be home more, and Tom smiled because he wanted her to feel safe. After taking Lily to school, Tom returned home and sat quietly thinking about what Maya had said in the hospital. He knew he needed to be strong because change was coming. Later that day, Tom received a call from Maya's office and they asked him to come in for a meeting. He wore his best clean shirt and walked into the tall building feeling small but determined. People looked at him with new interest as he passed through the lobby. He was taken to a large office with wide windows where Maya waited behind a desk. She looked healthier than before and her smile was warm when she saw him. She thanked him again for saving her and said she wanted to speak about the future. Maya told Tom that she had reviewed what happened and that his firing was wrong. She said she had already corrected the mistake and that the manager who made that decision would no longer treat workers unfairly. Tom felt relieved but also surprised by how quickly things were changing. Maya then said that she wanted Tom to have a different role in the company. She said she needed someone she could trust to help with special tasks and to be close as she prepared for her child. Tom listened carefully because this was far beyond what he expected. Maya explained that she would soon take time away from daily business to focus on her baby. She needed someone who understood loyalty and care to help watch over important matters. She said Tom had already shown he was dependable. Tom felt honored but also nervous because he had never done work like this before. Maya told him she believed in learning and that she would support him every step of the way. Tom asked about Lily because she was always first in his heart. Maya said she wanted Lily to have the best schooling and a safe place to grow. She offered to help with those things not as a favor, but as part of building a strong future for everyone involved. Tom felt grateful and humbled by her kindness. He knew he could never repay such support with money, but he could give his loyalty and effort. As days passed, Tom started working in his new role and learned how the company operated. He was surprised by how many people depended on the choices Maya made. He worked hard to understand reports and schedules, and he asked questions when he needed to. People who once walked past him now spoke with respect. Tom never forgot where he came from, and he treated everyone kindly. Maya often invited Tom to sit with her and talk about plans. She spoke about how she wanted to change the company so workers felt valued. Tom shared ideas about fairness and simple ways to improve morale. Maya listened because she knew real change comes from listening to those who live the reality. Their conversations built a strong sense of trust between them. One afternoon, Maya told Tom more about her past. She shared how lonely she felt growing up without parents and how she promised herself she would never let her child feel that way. She said that seeing how Tom loved Lily had opened her eyes. Tom listened and felt a connection that went beyond work. He understood her fears and hopes because he had lived them. Maya also revealed that she wanted her child to grow up knowing Tom and Lily. She said she did not want to raise her baby in a world of cold walls and empty rooms. She wanted laughter and shared meals and honest care. Tom was touched by her words and felt a responsibility growing inside him. Lily met Maya one afternoon when Maya visited Tom home. Lily was shy at first, but soon showed Maya her drawings. Maya laughed softly and praised Lily's art. Lily asked about the baby and Maya smiled and said the baby was already lucky to have so many people who cared. As weeks went by, the bond between the two families grew stronger. Tom and Lily were often invited to spend time with Maya. They shared meals and talked about simple things. Maya found comfort in their warmth, and Tom found hope in her trust. Tom knew that Maya's secret was not just about her being a CEO or a mother. It was about her wanting to build a family in a way she never had. He also knew that this new chapter would bring challenges. But for the first time in a long while, he felt that the future might be kinder than the past. Lily once asked Tom if Maya was part of their family now. Tom thought for a moment and said family is made of people who care and stay. Lily smiled because she felt that truth in her heart. As the baby day grew closer, Maya leaned more on Tom for support. Tom stood ready because he had learned that sometimes life brings people together for a reason. He knew the final part of their story was still ahead, and he was ready to face it with courage and hope. The day Maya's baby was ready to be born arrived with a soft morning light that filled the hospital room with a feeling of calm. Tom and Lily waited nearby with hearts full of hope and worry. Maya looked peaceful but strong as she held on through each moment. Tom stood close because he wanted her to know she was not alone. Lily sat quietly holding a small drawing she had made for the baby. When the baby finally arrived, the room filled with gentle sounds of new life. Maya cried with joy and relief as she held her child for the first time. Tom felt a deep warmth in his chest because he knew he had helped protect this moment from ever being lost. Lily smiled wide and said the baby was beautiful. Maya laughed softly and thanked them both for being there. Maya named her baby Hope because she said that was what she felt when she looked at her. She said hope was a reminder that even in hard times something good can grow. Tom agreed because his own life had changed in ways he never expected. Lily held Hope's tiny hand and promised to be a good friend. As days passed, Maya recovered and began planning how to balance her work and her new role as a mother. Tom continued to support her with care and honesty. He helped manage small tasks and made sure Maya could rest when she needed. Lily visited often and filled the space with laughter and stories. Maya told Tom that she wanted him to be part of Hope's life in a special way. She said that family is not only about blood but about choice and care. Tom felt honored and said he would always look after Hope as if she were his own. Lily was excited to have someone new to share her crayons and games. The company also changed under Maya's leadership. She made sure workers were treated with respect and that good deeds were valued. Tom became a symbol of kindness and courage in the workplace. People looked up to him not because of his title but because of his heart. One afternoon Maya gathered Tom and Lily and told them she had a surprise. She said she had arranged a comfortable home for them closer to her so they could all be near. Tom was moved because it meant Lily would have a safer place to grow. Lily was thrilled at the thought of a bigger room and a yard to play in. They moved into their new home and began building a life filled with shared meals and warm evenings. Maya visited often with Hope and they spent time together like a family. Tom cooked simple dinners and Lily helped set the table. Maya laughed more than she ever had before. Tom realized that the secret Maya carried was not just about her pregnancy. It was about her desire to create a loving family after a lonely past. By trusting Tom, she had found people who cared for her and her child without needing anything in return. Tom felt proud to be part of that story. Lily grew close to Hope and loved being an older sister figure. She taught Hope little songs and showed her colorful pictures. Maya watched them and felt grateful that her child would grow up surrounded by kindness. Tom sometimes thought about the night in the elevator and how one moment of bravery changed everything. He knew that even small actions can shape a future. He felt thankful that he followed his heart instead of fear. As time went on, Maya and Tom built a strong partnership based on respect and trust. They supported each other through challenges and shared joys. Their lives became intertwined in a way that felt natural. Lily once told Tom that their family was special because it was made from love, not just from where people came from. Tom smiled because she understood more than he expected. Hope grew healthy and happy with many people who cared for her. Maya found balance between her work and her family. Tom found stability and purpose. Lily found a world that felt safe and bright. In the end, the story of a single dad and a pregnant CEO became a story of courage and connection. They showed that when people choose to care for one another, even in the hardest moments, something beautiful can grow.